Okay, so I'm going to tell you about how I've improved formative assessment in one of my modules, and the one I've chosen is research methods, both one which is a first year module and two which is a second year. And the way I've done it is using quizzes on Moodle, and what they've allowed me to do is to show students both in class and at home how they can complete the work by getting instant feedback. And it's a really simple process, and the one I've got to show you first is one that looks at measures a central tendency in data collection. The great thing about it is it's made my life easier as well as the students, because it allows me to spend more time talking them through it, with them being able to see the whole process as it goes, rather than having to spend ages and ages marking individual papers, sometimes 20 minutes at a time per students of classes of up to 20 or 30. Now I can talk them through it and sit back and allow them to kind of work their own way through it and get that feedback, working at their own speed and their own time, and allowing me to then do all kinds of other things to support them with that. And it's great for two aspects. One is for them to work at home and to test themselves, but the other aspect is the teaching. So one of the other ones I've done is a more complicated aspect than the central tendencies, which is a one-way ANOVA. And this is actually designed to be used in class alongside a lecture PowerPoint, where each and every step of the equation is broken down and laid out for the students to work along. And this again allowed the students in the class to work at their own speed and their own capabilities, I suppose, and allowed me to take a more one-to-one approach, where I could go around to students who were struggling, help them out, while students who were perhaps more confident, more capable of doing it, were able to move ahead following the guide and getting the feedback and knowing each and every step that they were going in the right direction. Straight away, the feedback from the students was incredibly positive. They found the whole process much easier. They enjoyed being able to work at their own speed, and they enjoyed getting that feedback, not having to wait an hour, a day, a week, whatever, for the feedback in the next class. They were able to get it then and there. And all the students, whether they were at the high level, felt that it was much easier because they were able to go through and complete it at their speed, or the students who perhaps struggled with some of the other examples found it much easier because they didn't feel as pressured. They could see it being broken down step by step, and again they got a lot of time to talk to the people around them about it and to myself, because I was able to spend much more time with them in class. The feedback in general from all the students was incredibly positive, but in particular some of the students who had reported learning difficulties or even just issues with maths and statistics in general said that being able to see it in this manner and to take the time made their life much easier, and they found it a less stressful process, which was one of the reasons I was experimenting with it in the first place. Being able to also take this home and work on it in their own time, to go through example after example, made their life much easier, because the time taken to set up something like this was quite long at the start, but then changing it for new data sets, for new examples, was incredibly easy. Easier in some ways than creating them for the class in the first place.